I can, and unfortunately I can confirm the mother of that 9-month-old baby that was stabbed has unfortunately succumbed to her injuries.
Oh,
so it's quite a terrible thing. And if I can paint a picture, and I know you, Ben, just said that this was very similar to what you recollect from the 2017 London, the Borough Markets incident.
Yeah.
It is extremely similar. You've got to remember this is the first day of school holidays here in Sydney. There were kids everywhere. There were families everywhere. Bondi Junction is like the Mayfield of Sydney. It is an affluent area. It is an extremely busy shopping centre. You can never get a car park. There's always people in there. And at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, it would have been absolutely full to the brim. And this gentleman, whoever he was, whatever his motivation was, police don't know who he is. They haven't certainly shared that with the public by any stretch of the imagination. There was no discussion about any ideological comments made during the stabbing attacks or anything of the like. So we're kind of in the dark, but if I can paint a picture of exactly what that was, you're talking about families, you're talking about babies, you're talking about young kids on their first day of their April school holidays, confronted with a guy with a 6 to 12-inch knife running around indiscriminately stabbing people. Now, thankfully, the situation is in hand, as police say. There is no active threat at Bondi Junction. It is an extremely affluent area. It is well known, the eastern suburbs of Sydney, to be dense in terms of its Jewish population. Now, there is no suggestion at all that this has anything to do with what's going on in the Middle East. There has been some people sort of trying to infer that, but I think that would be both unhelpful and extremely premature, given authorities haven't told us anything about that just yet. So, as it stands right now, 6 innocent people have lost their lives. The stabber, the attacker himself, he has been shot by an incredibly brave policewoman who was there on her own, with no help, with no partner, with no team members, and did the noble and right thing to save many, many other people's lives. So we can only be thankful for her.
What a hero. Your Prime Minister alluded to it earlier, courageous, fearless, running towards danger, and in no doubt saved many, many lives. And Chris, just to confirm, you say that the mother of that 9-month-old baby, as you understand, the baby's in hospital having surgery on critical injuries, but the mother, you think, has died?
Yeah, she has. I can confirm that. She has passed away. And I was watching some of my colleagues on 9 News here in Australia talking with two gentlemen where the mother effectively was stabbed in the back multiple times. Her infant was also stabbed, 9-month-old child. She then threw the baby to two unsuspecting passers-by and said, "Please look after my baby," as she's trying to get some sort of treatment from people in a Chanel shop in the middle of a department store in a suburb of Sydney, and she was not in a good way at that point. But I'm told from what those witnesses said happened was her final efforts to ensure that her baby's injuries weren't, and the blood loss wasn't as significant as it could have been. The mother's final efforts potentially saved that baby's life. So fingers crossed, and we're hoping and praying that baby's life is saved. But for the mother, it is just, and that family, my God, how could you possibly put yourself in their shoes?